DSC, SGT ఆల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ కోర్స్ 6 నెలల వ్యాలిడిటీతో కేవలం 1799 రూపాయలకు మాత్రమే. DSC స్కూల్ అసిస్టెంట్ తెలుగు కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 6 మంత్స్ వ్యాలిడిటీతో కేవలం 1799 రూపాయలకు మాత్రమే. DSC స్కూల్ అసిస్టెంట్ గణితం కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 6 మంత్స్ వ్యాలిడిటీతో కేవలం 1799 రూపాయలకు మాత్రమే. DSC స్కూల్ అసిస్టెంట్ సోషల్ కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 6 మంత్స్ వ్యాలిడిటీతో కేవలం 1799 రూపాయలకు మాత్రమే. DSC స్కూల్ అసిస్టెంట్ బయాలజీ కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 6 మంత్స్ వ్యాలిడిటీతో 1799 రూపీస్ కి మీకు అందిస్తోంది SNS పబ్లికేషన్స్. 10 మందికి విద్యను అందిస్తే ఈ జీవితానికి అంతకన్నా సార్థకత ఇంకోటి ఏముంటుంది చెప్పండి. అలాంటి వృత్తిలో మీరు కూడా సెటిల్ అవ్వాలి అని అనుకుంటే మాత్రం తప్పకుండా మీరు SNS పబ్లికేషన్స్ యాప్ని మన గూగుల్ ప్లే స్టోర్ నుంచి డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకొని ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ని మీరు వినొచ్చు. అలాగే మీకు నచ్చిన కోర్స్ని మీరు పర్చేస్ కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు. మరిన్ని వివరాల కొరకు మీరు సంప్రదించవలసిన నంబర్స్ 8070555577 అలాగే 9032064822. SNS పబ్లికేషన్స్ ప్రేక్షకులకు గుడ్ న్యూస్. తెలుగు రాష్ట్రాలలో టెట్ DSC పుస్తకాలు ఇంకా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్తో ప్రభంజనం సృష్టించి ఎన్నో ర్యాంకులు సాధించి రాష్ట్రంలోనే నంబర్ 1 సంస్థగా నిలిచింది SNS పబ్లికేషన్స్. ఇప్పుడు నూతన ప్రణాళికతో మీ ముందుకు వచ్చేసింది. DSC, SGT ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ మన ప్రముఖ నగరమైనటువంటి విజయవాడలో ప్రారంభించబడుతుంది. అధునాతన టెక్నాలజీతో
Good evening everyone. Hope you all are doing very well. So extremely pleasure meeting you all through this English live session. As you all know, we already started English online classes. As a part of English literature series, today we are going to discuss another poem called A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal. But before we get into today's session, before we get into today's class, so I want you to focus on the screen. So as you can see on the screen, AP Mega DSC SC English offline batch admission started. We are extremely happy to announce you all that we already started the offline classes as well related to English. So the admission started taking on 29th and we are going to end on 31st of this month. As we have only limited seats, 31st తో మనం అడ్మిషన్స్ని క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాం. అండ్ ఆన్ 31st ఈవినింగ్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు హ్యావ్ అ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ సెరమనీ ఆర్ అ ఇంట్రడక్టరీ సెషన్ ఆన్ 31st ఈవినింగ్. సో ఐ వాంట్ యూ పీపుల్, ఆల్ ఆఫ్ యూ టు టేక్ ద అడ్మిషన్స్ ఫర్ ఆఫ్లైన్ సెషన్స్ అండ్ టు నో ద అడ్రస్ ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు సీ ద బిలో స్క్రీన్. ఆ స్క్రీన్ డౌన్లో మనకి లైవ్ సెషన్లో స్క్రోల్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. అడ్రస్ ఎక్కడ అనేది, ఇట్ ఈస్ నియర్ టు గుణదల చర్చ్ విజయవాడ. సో దేర్ యూ హ్యావ్ ద కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్స్ గివెన్. మీకు అడ్రస్ కనుక కన్ఫ్యూజన్ ఏదైనా ఉన్నట్లయితే కనుక ఆ కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్స్కి కాల్ చేయండి. వన్స్ అగైన్ ఐఎమ్ హ్యాపీ టు అనౌన్స్ యూ ఆల్ వీ హ్యావ్ స్టార్టెడ్ ద ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్, బట్ యాజ్ వీ హ్యావ్ ద లిమిటెడ్ సీట్స్ అవైలబుల్ we are closing the admissions on 31st of this month. And from 1st onwards ఫుల్ ప్లెడ్జ్డ్గా ఆన్లైన్ సెషన్స్ కాదు, ఆఫ్లైన్ సెషన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా కంప్లీట్గా స్టార్ట్ అవబోతున్నాయి. సో ఎవరైతే ఇంట్రెస్టెడ్గా ఉన్నారో ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ అన్నీ క్లోజ్ అయ్యేలోపు మీరు అడ్మిషన్స్ తీసుకోవాలని సో వీఆర్ రిక్వెస్టింగ్ యూ. ఆల్ రైట్, సో నౌ let's all get into the today's poem as a part of literature series, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal. Shall we get into the actual poem? So, which was written by the poet William Wordsworth. And the poem name is A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal. And what does it mean by slumber? So what is that, sealing the spirit? And why did he write the poem? Who is he? William Wordsworth. And before we know the poem, let's understand or let's know the minimum information about the poet. Okay? Very important points only we cover about the poet information. As you can see in the picture, he is William Wordsworth. My dear people, at the end of the session we are going to have a practice test also on this poem, so listen carefully. Okay, so he is William Wordsworth. As you can see on the screen, William Wordsworth was one of the founders of English Romanticism. So what is English Romanticism is all about? It is a literary movement or artistic movement which is related to specifically or emphasis on emotions and imagination. That means the poems are related to the imagination and emotions. Maybe this poem is also related to that. Let's see. He was born in Cockermouth, Cumbria on April 7th, 1770. This is the birthplace of this poet and the year 1770. So where is it located? Cumbria means United Kingdom. Okay, so this place is in United Kingdom and he was born on April 7th, 1770. The years and places of the birth is very important when it comes to the author. And P.V. Shelley, another great poet of romanticism, called him poet of nature. So he is another poet. Okay, so another poet related to he also writes the poems related to human emotions and the imagination and particularly related to nature. He is calling William Wordsworth, he is the poet of nature. You may get the question like the poet of nature. So that is his kind of, the name given by the another poet. Wordsworth along with Coleridge published lyrical ballads in 1798 in which he defined poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling. So that means, what do you mean by a ballad? Can anyone tell me what is ballad is? Ballad is nothing but the poem or a song which narrates a story in the form of short stanzas. ఏదైనా ఒక పోయంలో ఒక స్టోరీ కనుక నెరేట్ చేయగలిగినట్లయితే ఇన్ ద ఫార్మ్ ఆఫ్ షార్ట్ స్టాంజాస్లో, ఇట్ మైట్ బి అ సాంగ్ ఫార్మ్ ఆర్ ఇట్ మైట్ బి అ పోయం. సో ఇన్ షార్ట్ స్టాంజాస్ ఒక స్టోరీని నెరేట్ చేస్తే వాటిని బ్యాలెడ్స్ అంటాం అనమాట. సో 1798లో దిస్ అసోసియేటింగ్ విత్ కొల్రిడ్జ్. సో కొల్రిడ్జ్ అనేటువంటి ఇంకొక ఆథర్తో అసోసియేట్ అయ్యి, సో he made this lyrical ballad 1798. And this poem which we are going to discuss is also part of the lyrical ballad only. That is why this point is mentioned. Is that clear? Next. So what is poetry according to him is, a poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feeling. Poetry is nothing but your strong inner feeling. If it comes in your words, that is nothing but a poetry. Poetry you cannot write just like that, like a story or something. It's your inner feeling. It's your gut feeling, it's your strong feeling. It might be related to anything. So that is what his feeling is, and it's absolutely correct as well. Imagination, nature, subjectivity and humanism are the basic themes of Wordsworth poetry. So here we can understand what is imagination. So ఊహాత్మకమైనటువంటి కంటెంట్ని తీసుకోవడం ఆర్ నేచర్ రిలేటెడ్, ప్రకృతికి సంబంధించినటువంటి. వాట్ డూ యూ మీన్ బై సబ్జెక్టివిటీ? సబ్జెక్టివిటీ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఇట్స్ రిలేటెడ్ టు పర్సన్స్ హ్యూమన్ ఫీలింగ్స్. ఓకే, సో హ్యూమన్ ఫీలింగ్స్కి సంబంధించినటువంటి హ్యూమానిజం ఆర్ ద బేసిక్ థీమ్ ఆఫ్ ద Wordsworth poetry. See, every poet has their own theme or their own content when they write about it. For example, when you take Sarojini Naidu, her style of writing poetry is entirely different. Okay, so every poet has their own style of writing the poetry. So according to him, William Wordsworth, these are the main themes. This poem related to which theme we will find out when we get into the session. During his long poetic career, he wrote a large number of poems, among which Tintern Abbey, The Daffodils, The Solitary Reaper, Lucy poems and lyrical ballads are well known. Now in this line, the poet is talking about these are his basic works or well known works. His poetic career, these are the poems which he has written. Among them, these are the main things. What are they? Tintern Abbey, The Daffodils, The Solitary Reaper, Lucy poems. Here I want you to underline this one, Lucy poems and lyrical ballads are well known. Like all great romantic poetry, his poetry is a record of his inner experiences. Like all great in the sense, most of the great poets, what do they write in their poetry? Their own experiences, their inner feelings, they write in their poetry, right? So like that, even Wordsworth was also, he writes his own experiences in his life, interlinking with the poems, his writings. So what did he write about this poem? Shall we get into the next slide to know about it? And before that, before we get into the actual poem, I want you to understand what is actually this poem is about. Introduction. So what is this introduction is nothing but this poem is all about a loss of dear ones. So have you ever lose something in your life? Let's question ourselves. Did I lose something in my life, someone in my life? How do we feel? If we lose our loved ones, how do we feel? So we need to overcome that, right? We all will be in grief or pain or something. So likewise, the poet also lost someone which is very dear to him. So when he lost her, so what are the poet feelings? How did he overcome? And what is his thought process in that? So let's understand. Let's see the introduction. A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal is one of the 5 Lucy poems written by the great romantic poet William Wordsworth. So this is the poem name, and this is from the Lucy poems. As I said in the last slide, I want you to underline the Lucy poems. So Lucy poems is all about, this is the character whom, assuming character whom he lost, the dear one which we are going to talk about. So he lost his dear one, right? So that is nothing but Lucy. In this, he has written 5 sets of poems. So among it, so one of the poems are A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal, and these are the 5. Strange fits of passion have I known. She dwelt among the untrodden ways. I travelled among unknown men. 3 years she grew in sun and shower. A slumber did my spirit seal. This is the main poem we are going to talk about. Okay. Now let's see. This volume was written in 1798 and published in 1800. So in the first slide, when we were talking about the lyrical ballads, when he co-authorized with Coleridge తో co-authorize lyrical ballads ని రిలీజ్ చేశారని చెప్పాం కదా. So that is what in that year this poem is about Wordsworth's deep love for his beloved and his reaction to her sudden untimely death. As we discussed, this poem is all about the Wordsworth deep connection, like deep dear ones when he lost her. So what is his reaction and her sudden untimely death. For example, when people become old, when they leave this world, human world, that feeling might be different. When you don't expect, suddenly something happens, you cannot even imagine in your life that is going. For example, we see some people, very younger ones, they lose their lives in the accidents or something, or unexpectedly they get some diseases which they are going to leave this life within very short span. So those are called untimely death. You can't expect what is going to happen. So the same thing happened to Wordsworth also. So what happened? He lost his beloved ones. Let's say nothing but Lucy is her name. Through this poem, Wordsworth described an appreciation of life beyond death. And not only that, it is not only grief that he is expressing after losing his, let's say Lucy as his wife or the beloved one. Not only that, he is also expressing, what is that? The life beyond death. What is going to happen after death? How did he overcome? What did he think about it? Let's see. This is the actual poem. Don't you think it's very short and simple? But the message or the theme that he is giving through this poem, through his feelings, it immense. You can't even imagine. Let's read the poem. I want you to read along with me. Let's look at the screen. A slumber did my spirit seal. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. Rolled round in earth's diurnal course, with rocks and stones and trees. So initially, the first time I just read all the poem. Now let's get into line by line. A slumber did my spirit seal. What do you mean by slumber? Slumber is nothing but deep sleep. Slumber is nothing but deep sleep. A slumber did my spirit seal. For example, when you are in depression, let's say the word depression, or when you lose somebody, what do you generally people do? They want to sleep all the time so that they can forget their pain, so that they don't need to come to reality and realize that they lost the person. That means through this first line, the poet wants to tell us, a slumber did my spirit seal. Spirit seal in the sense closed off his mind. Closed off his mind in the sense his brain stopped working as he was in his deep sleep. The spirit is nothing but his mind. The spirit is nothing but his soul. So that the deep sleep, it's not the general sleep. He intentionally he was sleeping, consciously he was sleeping so that he can forget his beloved one is not there in this world. Let's see the next one. I had no human fears. So what do you think? What are the human fears? I want you to answer. So can anybody answer to this question? What are the human general fears according to your view? So I hope you all are listening to the session. Since it is a live session, not the recorded session, I want you to answer. What are the general human fears? Can anybody tell me according to your view? So generally Sumalata, Saidulu, Ishwar, Kalyani. So hi everyone, Krishnaveni, good evening. Kalyani everyone. Can anybody tell me? Losing money, wow. Valmiki Kiran, losing money, great. Can anyone tell me? What are the human fears? As a human? Good answer my dear. Death, very good. Venkateshwarlu, death is also one of the human fears. Enough, thank you so much for responding. Let's see, let's get into the human fears. Of course, as both of them said, death is one of the fears. Losing money, losing property, wealth, materialistic things, anxiety about the future, what is going to happen, and the past, regrets. Oh no, I wouldn't have done like this. Every human being, since wake up in the morning until we go to bed, we will be in different feelings, emotions, anxieties, attacks, right? But now I had no fear. Who had no fear? The poet had no fear, because so he lost the beloved ones, in the sense he lost his world. Now nothing can scare him. Inka edi kuda prapanchanlo atanni bhayapetaledu annamata. Next, she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly ears. So here earthly ear means physical life. Now in these two lines he is talking about his beloved one, Lucy. She seemed a thing that could not feel. Tanna నాకు ఎలా కనిపిస్తుందంటే she doesn't feel anything. What is about the touch of earthly ears? She can't feel anything about the physical life. When she was alive, she used to feel everything here. Now she can't feel anything. Now he is remembering his wife Lucy and talking about it. No motion has she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees. These are very simple words. No motion in the sense there is no motion in her. ఆవిడకి కదలిక లేదు. She neither hears nor sees. చూడలేకపోతుంది, మాట్లాడలేకపోతుంది, వినలేకపోతుంది. There is no force also. Even if you go and touch her, she cannot move. Now he is talking about Lucy, that she doesn't feel anything. The earthly ears, the physical life, when she was alive, she used to touch, she used to feel, she used to hear, she used to see. Now where is she? So in these lines, the poet is expressing his pain. That where is she now? In the first two lines, he is expressing that he's almost like he was sleeping, he was in his deep sleep, so nothing can bother him, so that his mind is off, because he was not able to take that the beloved ones has gone. Not in this. Then the next lines, he's just remembering, where is she? She's not alive, she cannot see, she is not, I cannot feel her. She also cannot feel anything. She left her physical life and she has gone. Let's see the other lines. Rolled round in earth's diurnal course with rocks and stones and trees. What do you mean by rolled round in diurnal course? In the sense the earth rotates in axis, right? భూమి చుట్టూ తిరుగుతూ ఉంటుంది కదా. సో ఆ తిరిగేటప్పుడు భూమి లోపల ఉన్నటువంటి what do we have in this earth? So we have everything. We have the nature, we have the forest, like with rocks, stones and trees. That means in these two lines he is accepting the fact that his beloved one Lucy has gone immortal. That means as a part of the earth, right, along with the stones, along with the trees, along with the rocks, tanu kuda oka bhagam అయిపోయింది. That means she is immortal. So immortal means which doesn't have the death. Every time, like ever lives on. He feels like she is there, but as a part of the nature. She become the part of the earth. So that is how he is convincing himself. He is convincing himself like she is with me in my thoughts. She is like immortal. So here he accepted the fact that he is no more. She is no more. Right? So my dear people, this is all the process we will just go through. But some people may not come out of the pain. What do they generally do? So they waste their life. They waste their life, crying and being in that sadness for the long time, which they are not able to accept the fact, because it happened like, what do we say, it happened unusual death, right, which he did not expect to be done. She was not deceased one, unusually it happened, so he could not take the pain. So that's the reason he was into deep sleep and he cut his connection with the world. And later on he was also saying that nothing scares him anymore in this world. And later on, what did he say? Where is she? Again he was remembering, and then he accepted the fact that where is she? She become immortal. Physically she is not there, but she is with me mentally in my thoughts. She is just along with the stones, rocks and trees. అంటే భూమిలో ఒక భాగం అయిపోయింది తను ఇక్కడే ఉంది, బట్ ఇన్ మై థాట్స్ షీ బికేమ్ immortal. She ever lives on. So how is the poem? You like it? You like the poem? So yes, if you understand the poem, say yes, and we will move on to the next main important things. Okay, let's understand the rhyme scheme of the poem. What do you mean by rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme in the sense every poem has their own rhyme scheme. Some poems may not have the rhyme scheme, but this poem beautifully have. Every end of the line, if you notice the last word, that sounds that is nothing but the rhyme scheme. Let's say, a slumber did my spirit seal. The word pronunciation is seal. I had no human fears. Seal, let's say A. Fears, let's say B. Again, she seemed a thing that could not feel. Don't you think seal and feel sounds the same? So when it sounds the same, you need to take A again. Okay, and then the touch of earthly ears. Don't you say fears and ears sound same? So what is that? B again. So A B A B. Here you can see A B A B. Next, see the second stanza. No motion has she now, no force. The word is force. She neither hears nor sees. Force sound is different. C sound is different. Let's say C, C's D. Again, diurnal course, force, course, same sound. Let's say C again. And then C's trees, same sound. Now D. So the rhyme scheme of this poem is A, B, A, B. Okay, and C, D, C, D. If you notice how many stanzas we have? 2 stanzas we have. Every stanza of what do we have? 4 lines. When you have a 4 lines, that is nothing but quatrain. You call it quatrain. So how many quatrains we have? 2 quatrains. Quatrain is nothing but 4 lines of the poem. Is that clear till here? Now let's understand the poetical devices as well. I hope till here it is clear. Now let's understand the poetical devices, very very important according to the poem. First poetic device is used, alliteration. What is alliteration? It's the repetition of a consonant sound. Where did we repeat? Roll, slumber did my spirit seal. So S sound is repeated. Next, roll round in earth's diurnal course. So which sound is repeated? R sound is repeated. So the poetic device used here is alliteration. Okay. Next one, metaphor. What is a metaphor? When you compare 2 things without using like or as. If you use like and as, that is simile. The poetic device is simile. So here the comparison is given. The poet's peaceful state is compared with a state like slumber. A deep sleep to compare చేశారు కాబట్టి poetic device ఏం యూస్ చేశారు? Metaphor. Next one, personification. The touch of earthly ears. Here the earthly ears అంటే ఏంటి? Physical life అన్నమాట. So that is have been attributed with the human qualities. మనకి ఇట్లా హ్యూమన్ క్వాలిటీస్తో అట్రిబ్యూట్ చేసినట్లయితే we call it like personification, the poetic device. The next one, repetition. Where do you have the repetition? Like no and. These are the 2 words repeated twice in the poem. So that is the reason why we use the literary device repetition. Okay, these are the poetic devices we used. Now I told you in the beginning we are going to have a practice test. I want you to answer in the practice test as well. Now let's see the theme of the poem. In the poem, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal, the poet expresses his views after the death of his beloved. As we discussed, he is expressing his grief after the death, unexpected death of his beloved Lucy. Who is she? Lucy. He is deeply grieved and troubled by the death of his beloved. So obviously we know what do we mean by grieved? Deeply saddened. He has gone numb, but in his numbness, he realizes that he needs to move on and accept his fate. What do you mean by numbness or numb? He become just blunt. He doesn't know like what to do. So that too only for certain time. Later on he realized that and he accepted the fate and he started moving on. He realizes that death is inevitable. He needs to accept the fact that his loved one is no more. So finally what did he realize? The death is inevitable. Inevitable is every person in this world, though you are the billionaire or the crorepati, whatever it may be. So you have to accept the fact that death is inevitable. You cannot escape from that, right? You have to accept it. He shows the readers to understand that even after death, his beloved or all our beloved dead people are alive as part of nature. So beautiful point, my dear people. I want you to understand this point. So literature is so beautiful sometimes. We learn so many life lessons from the literature. What do you say, yes or no? Right? So, our surroundings cannot give, our life experiences cannot give, but the literature, when you read it and understand it, you get the life lessons what you want. See this line? He shows the readers understand that even after death, his beloved or all our beloved people, dead people are alive as a part of the nature. So we need to accept the fact that death is inevitable and we have to accept and move on. And even the dead people also, they are not immortal. They are with us in our thoughts. Okay, as they become a part of the nature. ఈ ప్రకృతిలో వాళ్ళు కలిసిపోయారు అన్నది మనం యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయగలగాలి. We should not feel like physically they may not be alive, but in our memories they are there, right? So we need to cherish those memories. Next, they are free from worldly affairs and are immortal. That just as I said in this point, they are physically not there, but they are alive. Okay? So now I want you to answer if the poem is clear to you. If you like the explanation, death is the ultimate fear, ma'am. That is good. Yes, I accept. Saira Banu, hi. Nice meeting you after long time. Yes, I too. Happy to meet you all through the live session. Next, now my dear people, so is that clear? The poem is clear? Now your turn. My turn is over. I want you to answer the questions. I'll give you 5 seconds time to every question. Please answer and respond so that I feel happy that you all are listening. Okay? Next one. Who is the poet of this poem? So easy question. Do you want 5 seconds or 3 seconds to this? I think at least to type you need time. So who is going to answer? Let me check. Thank you, Ishwar. Thank you so much. 1. I think R.C. Nayak as Valmiki Kiran also responded. Anusha responded. William Wordsworth, very good. What is this poem about? Your second question started. Now you stop answering for the first one. Second question. It is dedicated to the poet's beloved, dedicated to questions of life and death, dedicated to love or none. What is your point? What do you say? I accepted William Wordsworth. First question, everybody answer. Second question, I want you to. Please, second question. When you are answering, you just mention like this. Second and option 2 or 1 or something like that. Second question 1. Absolutely correct. It is dedicated to the poet's beloved. Very good. What was the name of the girl whom the poet loved? What is the name of the girl? So very easy question. And the third question, Anusha, very good. Shyama Venkateshwarlu, very good. Now I want you to answer the next question. Third question. Third question, second one. Very good. Subbaya Siddhala, very good. Next one, what does slumber mean in the poem? What do you say slumber mean? You have deep sleep, you have first one also. Second one and fourth one delete. In these two, what is your answer? It is dedicated. Yes, I accepted. Now just move on to the next question. Deep sleep in the form of death of poet's beloved Lucy and poet's ignorance to harsh realities of life. As I said, normal sleep is different. Deep sleep మనం మామూలుగా కూడా నిద్రలోకి వెళ్తాం, but it is the ignorance of harsh reality. So he's not accepting the fact that his beloved is no more. So option 1 is the right answer. Very good. Whoever answered might be. Next one. What is Lucy not able to feel after death? Nothing. Touch of time spent on the earth. Feelings. Poet feelings. What do you say? The answer is touch of time spent on the earth. Many of you answering. So due to time constraint, I am just keep on moving. I want you to answer the questions. You keep doing that. The option 2 is the right answer, and check your answer. The next one. How did the poet feel after his beloved death? How did he feel? Grief striken, happy, burden free, all. Obviously, grief striken. I hope you two answered the same. So where we are getting time, you are not mentioning the question number, but you are answering. I am very happy to the people like who are answering. Extremely happy. I wanted to name all of you, but the question number is also important. Next, what was Lucy doing after death? What is she doing after death? Coming to the poet's dream, was disturbing, moving here and there in the earth's course of rotation, moving here and there in the earth's rotation. Like option 3 is the right answer. What did the poet never feel before Lucy's death? So he never feel any kind of fear. Option 2 is the right answer. What is the rhyming scheme of the poem? What do you say? I want you to answer it. A B C D, A B B C C D D, A B C D C D. Option 3 is the right answer. What is the central theme of A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal? What is the central theme? Let's see. The power of human fears, the enduring nature of spirit, the transience of a human life, and the eternal nature of nature. What do you mean by transience? Transience and the temporariness anamata. Temporary, it's not permanent. Life is just temporary, it is not permanent. You are not going to live for thousands of years, right? So the temporary, the struggling against earthly years. So if you do not understand the poem, all these options seem to be right. But if you truly understand the poem, option 3 is the right answer. Next one. What literary device used in the line, A slumber did my spirit seal? Metaphor, simile, personification, alliteration. Obviously metaphor. The comparison is given. The deep sleep compared to a slumber. Like how many quatrains does the poem? What do you mean by quatrain? It's a 4 lines poem, right? So how many quatrains we have? We have 8 lines. Totally 2 stanzas. What is the rhyme scheme of the poem? Here, if you have given A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, go with that. If you have given like this, A, B is the right option. What does the speaker mean by Earth's diurnal course? What do you mean by Earth's diurnal course? It's the Earth's rotation. Where do you have? The rotation of the Earth. Option 1 is the right answer. Am I a bit fast? Am I not giving you time to answer? I will give you. Let's see. Which of the following best describes the tone of the poem? Joyful tone of the poem is very important, like theme of the poem. Joyful and celebratory. What is the tone? Joyful ga unda when you are listening to the poem. Melancholic and contemplative. What is mean by melancholic? It's a state of sadness. And contemplative in the sense, contemplative in the sense thoughtful. And next, angry and defiant, playful and whimsical. Whimsical in the sense like, kind of playful only, joyful kind of. So what is the answer? It is sad and thoughtful. Option 2 is the right answer. What aspect of nature is emphasized in the final line of the poem? So aspect of nature, the final line. What do you have? Rivers, oceans, flowers and plants, rocks, stones and trees. Obviously rocks, stones and trees directly given. Next, what does the speaker mean by she seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years? What does the speaker mean? What is poet opinion? The subject is immortal and unaffected by time. This is very important word. So she cannot see anything, she cannot touch anything. Option 1 is the right answer. So now, my dear people, your practice test is over. And before we just conclude it, here are some lines to understand and conclude the poem. I want you to read. Look at the slide. Thus, through the poem, A slumber did my spirit seal, Wordsworth decides that he should attain the same peace as Lucy after becoming a part of nature. he also wants to attain the same peace what Lucy attained as a part of the nature. He also wanted to become as peaceful as she. Wordsworth described becoming a part of nature, and for becoming so death is a must. What he is trying to tell is everyone has to accept the fact is it is a part of nature. So one human being will die, another human being come to this world. This is a part of nature. We have to accept it, and we have to peacefully live our life. When you accept the death, immediately when I asked you people, so what are the human fears, the first one whoever answered, I don't remember his name, said death. 100% of all the people, we are all scared of death. That is the main thing, right? But when you accept that fact, you will be so peaceful and achieve anything in your life. So William Wordsworth conveys the message that death is inevitable. Nobody is beyond reach of death. So please accept the fact and be happy and peaceful as long as we live in this world. Let's give our best, firstly to ourselves as we have come to this world, and then to our family, obviously then to the society, and leave our memories here in this world and become a part of the beautiful nature. So I thoroughly enjoyed the poem explaining to you all, and when I was getting answers from you also, it was I can't explain you the happiness when you are just giving the response and all that. Now this is the poem. We are going to conclude the session. Online sessions already started in our classes, my dear people. I wanted to remind you all. So whoever did not take the one here, you also have the time, because you're going to get some months of validity. As you can see the picture, Mega DSC 2024 mentorship program మనకి స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది. లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి, ఆన్లైన్ సెషన్స్ కూడా జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఇంకా ఎవరైనా తీసుకోకపోతే గనక, so we concluded the today's class, and here are the main important announcements to all our students. So please do this. Some people, they keep on asking the questions down when I was reading the messages. I think these slides are going to give you answer. సో చాలామంది కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతున్నారు. మేబీ ఈ స్లైడ్స్ మీరు చూసినట్లయితే కొంచెం హెల్ప్ అవ్వచ్చు. సో ద కాస్ట్ ఈస్ 3,999. మనకి క్లాసెస్ ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయినాయి, బట్ ఇంకా మనకి యాక్సెస్ ఉంది. బుక్స్ కూడా 9 books మీకు ఫ్రీగా వస్తాయి అలాంగ్ విత్ దిస్ కోర్స్. ఇఫ్ యూ డిడ్ నాట్ ఇంకా చేసుకోనట్లయితే యూ కెన్ ఎన్రోల్ ఫర్ దిస్ కోర్స్. ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ మెంటర్షిప్ DSC 2024 లైవ్ క్లాసెస్ S&S యాప్లో ఉన్నాయమ్మా. అగైన్ మన క్లాసెస్ స్టార్ట్ అయినాయి. ద సేమ్ థింగ్, వితౌట్ బుక్స్ అయినట్లయితే కనుక 2,999 రూపీస్, విత్ బుక్స్ అయితే 3,999. ఓకే, సో ప్లీజ్ రిమెంబర్ దిస్ పాయింట్. అండ్ దెన్ మెగా DSC ఇంగ్లీష్ క్లాసెస్ కూడా, ఆఫ్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ కూడా స్టార్ట్ అయినాయి. మనకి 31st ఈజ్ ద లాస్ట్ డే. మనం క్లోజ్ చేసేస్తున్నాం ఆఫ్లైన్ బ్యాచ్కి మాత్రం. ఆన్లైన్కి కొంత యాక్సెస్ ఉంది, ఆఫ్లైన్కి మాత్రం మనకి ఎక్కువ కొంచెం స్టూడెంట్స్ ఎక్కువ ఉండడం వల్ల, ఫ్లోట్ ఆఫ్ స్టూడెంట్స్, కొన్ని లిమిటెడ్ అడ్మిషన్స్ మాత్రమే మనం తీసుకుంటున్నాం. ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు అటెండ్ ద క్లాసెస్, ప్లీజ్ ఎన్రోల్. అండ్ అడ్రస్ కూడా మనకి కింద స్క్రోల్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది, నియర్ గుణదల చర్చ్, విజయవాడ. సో అక్కడున్న కాంటాక్ట్ నెంబర్స్కి కాల్ చేస్తే అవర్ పీపుల్ విల్ గైడ్ యూ and just to let you know the address and all that. Please enroll for the offline classes. I will get an opportunity to direct you, meet you all. Next one is e 55 days exam series amma. Very very important thing ఇది, ఎందుకంటే మనకి ప్రాక్టీస్ మేక్స్ అస్ పర్ఫెక్ట్, రైట్? ఈ 55 days ఎగ్జామ్ సిరీస్ అనేవి మనకి జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఇది మనకి 3 months వ్యాలిడిటీ ఉంటుంది. ఎగ్జామ్స్ అడ్డాలో 499 రూపీస్ మాత్రమే. 55 days మీకు కంటిన్యూస్గా 55 ఎగ్జామ్స్ మనకి టెస్ట్ సిరీస్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి. దాంట్లో భాగంగా సైన్స్, మ్యాథ్స్ అండ్ కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 3 months వ్యాలిడిటీ. ఎగ్జామ్స్ అడ్డా 499 రూపీస్. వెరీ లెస్ కాస్ట్. 1999 నుంచి 499కి మనకి టైం దగ్గర పడుతుంది కాబట్టి, సో ఐ వాంట్ యూ టు గో. అండ్ ద నెక్స్ట్ వన్ సోషల్ స్టడీస్, కంటెంట్ మెథడ్స్ కూడా అవైలబుల్గా ఉన్నాయి. వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ టు చూస్, యూ కెన్ చూస్ with 3 months validity with less price. And the next one is, it is an online course, Telugu contents and methods amma 1799 ki 6 months validity to undi. Totally 6 months validity. Whoever wants to enroll, you can go with. Atlage mathematics content and methods, again 1799, 6 months validity. So please check. And the next one, biology content and methods 1799, 6 months validity again. Okay, And the next one, social content and methods, 1799 with 6 months validity. 6 months validity is a very good number. You can make use of all the classes. And online classes కూడా మనకి ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఎన్రోల్ చేసుకున్నా కూడా మీకు యాక్సెస్ ఉంది కాబట్టి 3 months వ్యాలిడిటీ ఇస్తారు. రికార్డెడ్ అయిపోయిన సెషన్స్ కూడా యూ కెన్ గో బ్యాక్ అండ్ యూ కెన్ గెట్ ద యాక్సెస్ అండ్ వాచ్ ద క్లాసెస్. ఆల్ రైట్, that's it for today. Nice meeting you all through this online class. So if you enroll for the offline class, we will meet in the offline classes as well. And the online classes also, literature series will continue. And that's it. Good night everyone.
ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ పబ్లికేషన్స్ ప్రేక్షకులకు నమస్కారం. గురువుని మన హిందూ సాంప్రదాయంలో దేవుడితో పోలుస్తాం. అలాంటి గురువుగా మీ వృత్తిని మీరు కొనసాగించాలి అనుకుంటే ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ DSC క్రాక్ చేయడమే మీ యొక్క మెయిన్ గోల్ అయితే ఇదిగో ఎస్ఎన్ఎస్ పబ్లికేషన్స్ మీ ఎయిమ్ని సాఫల్యం చేయడానికి బోలెడన్ని ఆఫర్స్ మీ ముందుకు వచ్చేసింది. DSC SGT ఆల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్ కోర్స్ 6 నెలల వ్యాలిడిటీతో కేవలం 1799 రూపాయలకు మాత్రమే. DSC స్కూల్ అసిస్టెంట్ తెలుగు కంటెంట్ అండ్ మెథడ్స్ 6 months వ్యాలిడిటీ.